And of course, welcome back. We will be going back to the story we told you earlier concerning the relations between South Africa and Lesotho. We, of course, News Central understands that President Cyril Ramaphosa says his country's strong bilateral ties with the Kingdom of Lesotho are very crucial. Now, joining me to, of course, shed more light on this is Silence Charumbira, a Lesotho journalist who joins from Johannesburg, South Africa. Thank you so much for your time, Silence. So what are bilateral relations, or why are bilateral relations between South Africa and Lesotho important for both countries? And what are the key areas of cooperation between the two of them?
Okay. Lesotho citizens and South Africans are largely one people. You actually have people who reside in Lesotho who have their kinsmen or their close relatives living across the borders in the reverse. So they are one people. The borders came and disrupted their way of life, so to say. So that's one of the primary reasons for which bilateral relations are important. Then you also realize that South Africa relies on Lesotho for water. The Gauteng region, the industrial hub of South Africa, gets its potable water from Lesotho. And then also Lesotho is a small country with relatively no industry to talk about. It relies mostly on South Africa for its goods and some services. So those relations are really important so that daily transactions can continue seamlessly.
Now, how do these bilateral relations contribute to economic development, of course, in both countries?
Like I said, Lesotho, the little industry that there is in Lesotho, it relies on South Africa for supplies, for its mechanization, and lots of other services. Then you have South Africa. Lesotho has about 2.1, 2.2 million. That's the population. And South Africa produces most of the goods, including food, that is consumed in Lesotho. You realize that Lesotho imports even perishables like vegetables are imported from South Africa. I remember in 2017, Lesotho was importing about 7 million rand worth of cabbages from South Africa annually. So that's how important these relations are, and that's the amount of trade that happens there. Then also you have a lot of informal trade that is happening. People who sell all kinds of wares, they get them from South Africa. Lesotho is known for manufacturing fabric. Lots of that fabric lands in South Africa as well. So those relations are really important to keep that kind of business going ahead.
All right. Now, what impact would you say the open border policy will have on trade and tourism between South Africa and Lesotho? And are there any challenges or issues that may arise from the open border policy between the two countries?
The open border policy will really be beneficial, but you realize that while the common man from Lesotho would definitely love a situation where they cross the border into South Africa without a passport, they are not the ones who really benefit. It is South Africa, the bigger country, that benefits from an open border policy, because it means they have an open market. It's more or less, Lesotho becomes more or less of a touch shop for South African goods. Then you already have situations where, in terms of tourism, like you asked, we have situations where South Africa benefits a lot in terms of people who travel to Lesotho, because most people who travel to Lesotho just spend the day in Lesotho and cross the border into South Africa for accommodation to sleep over. So accommodation facilities in Lesotho end up failing to cash in on the amount of traffic that they would be expecting.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Silence.
Thank you so much for having me.